Hello and welcome to today's video break. Psalm 36 verse 6 says this: Your righteousness is like the highest mountain, your justice like the great deep. You, Lord, preserve both people and animals. Okay, God's righteousness is totally unmovable. We, however, often try to put his righteousness in our understanding, just like love was yesterday. We do the same with his righteousness and justice. When God tells us to pray for our enemies and to love those who persecute us, that is God's justice. That's God's righteous standards. And so it flips most of the time our idea of what's right and what's just upside down. Because especially that verse always gets me, because I'm thinking, how could that be just when God is asking you and I to pray for those who persecute us? Now, David is writing this psalm right in the midst of persecution, right in the midst where even his best friends are betraying him. And so right in the middle of him trying to explain what evil looks like, he busts out in this verse and say, but God, I understand that your righteousness goes beyond what I could possibly comprehend. So don't try to come to God, and I don't want to say don't. Try not to come to God based on your limited understanding of who he is, his righteous ways. Come to God based on God's righteous ways. Now, we get this through reading scripture. We get this the more we walk with God, the more we understand God's ways. Because we sometimes have a limited understanding of what righteous moral standings look like. And so then we come to God based on what we know. And often, I've done this so many times, I try to tell God how to do his business instead of allowing God to do his business through me, his righteous ways through him. I come to him with my just ways, my understanding of what justice looks like, and tell God how to be just in this world that we live in, instead of letting God do justice based on God's just standards. Does that make sense? So it kind of blows my mind away to think that God is saying this verse: pray for those who persecute you, love your enemies. That busts through all righteous ways that I can understand in all just ways. That takes it and spreads it out in my mind to begin to understand that God's ways are so much higher. So maybe we need to come to God based on his ways and not try to get God to do our ways.